Hey everyone, what's going on? Um, this is just a quick little video I put together of the care and husbandry of Pyllomedusa bicolor, or the giant waxy monkey tree frog. So I guess we can just get right into it. They are housed in a Exoterra 24 by 18 by 36 tall front opening aquarium, or vivarium if you will. One thing to note with these guys, they do like a lot of air movement. So if you're going to house them in a glass area like this, make sure you have the screen open at all times. You don't have anything obstructing it, because they do require a lot of air. That being said, these are my two little males here, but that being said, I have a fan system set up, one there and one in the back corner there, that is on a timer to go off quite often during the day for an extended amount of time, so I get some good airflow. And haven't had any issue with these guys yet. I've had them for about 4 or 5 months. So just make sure that if you are going to keep them in glass, that you get that airflow somehow, because that's paramount. You got to have that for these guys. Stagnant air can kill them. They can get pneumonia and everything. So just make sure you take care of the airflow. As far as temp and humidity, temperature, especially where I'm at, I'm up north. It gets cold in the wintertime. So right now it is September, so the heat's halfway decent. It's about 75 throughout the day here. I installed two of the mini dome by Zoomeds, the basking lamps. These guys do like basking. They require a little bit of UVB, so that basking bulb gives off just the right amount. But you want to keep the midday temp between 80 and 85. It can get up to almost 90, but you don't want to go too much higher than that. And that's something I've been able to do for an extended amount of time. I just got to make sure that in the wintertime, or you want to make sure in the wintertime, if you're somewhere where it's cold, that you keep that temp up, because they're going to require it. And then humidity wise, same thing. You don't want to go above 60 to 65. Anywhere between 42 60 is an acceptable amount. These guys can handle drier conditions. If anybody knows anything about these frogs, or if you don't, they live up in the canopy, so they live in a little bit drier environments, which means they can handle some drier humidity. They secrete their own wax, kind of like their own sunscreen, and that just keeps the moisture in their body. So don't be afraid to have a lower temp than normal frogs. I've kept all different kinds of tree frogs, so these guys are by far kind of the opposite of red eyes and black eyes and tiger legs, where those guys like a higher humidity. These guys can handle that low humidity. You'll see I have a Mist King spray system up in here. I only put that in there on a timer just for my schedule, my work schedule. They go off maybe once a day. I think I have it on once or twice a day, depending. And it's only on there just for a little bit, and it keeps the humidity no higher than like 65. But then my air fans, they'll kick on, so it keeps a good balance for these guys. Like I said, I've had these guys for about 4 to 5 months now, and they seem to be do pretty good with the way I have things set up in here. Another thing you want to make note of: got to have a water dish, distilled water. Got to have that in order for these guys to kind of rehydrate themselves. Change it out once a day. That's paramount, as with any kind of frog, but definitely make sure you have that for these ones especially. Feeding wise, feed them large insects. I get them the 1-inch crickets. I get them from Josh's Frogs, 500 for 20 something bucks, and it lasts me a long time. So no complaints there. The reason these ones are in here, these are from leftover of last night's feeding. As you can see, these guys are pretty fat and happy, so I'm going to be cleaning these guys out and putting them back in the cricket cage that I have. Don't ever leave live insects in your enclosure, because they can chew on your frogs and everything else, as well as the plants. And speaking of plants, the ones I have in here, they are all artificial. Just got them off Etsy. A bird nest fern and a couple Tillandsia air plants. Live plants add way too much humidity, so again, that's been real helpful in keeping the humidity down for these guys. So I just kind of reconfigured them and redesigned the cage with all artificial stuff. The vines and what you see in here, they're all off of Black Jungle Terrarium Supply. I got the sticks and whatnot from them as well, just because they're the liana vines, straight from the jungle where these guys are from, pre-cured and all that, so I don't have any worries about having to put this stuff in my oven or anything like that. So, and again, these guys have not seemed to mind it whatsoever. So yeah, just a little recap. You want to have your temp between, 80 to 85 throughout the day. Upwards of 90 is okay, but not for too long. 75 at night, no lower. Humidity, 40 to 60. You can go a little higher on that, but again, high humidity can cause problems for these guys, so just make sure you don't keep it up too high. 60 to 65 is about the tops that you want to be. Water dish, distilled water, gotta have it. Airflow, make sure you have that as well. Gotta have good clean air for these guys, otherwise, again, they can get pneumonia and you can end up with a world of hurt. On a side note, if anybody knows where I can get a female, I would love to be able to breed these guys. So they're almost impossible to find. So if anyone out there knows of where I can get one, please let me know. Comment below. Other than that, like, share my video, and thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.